One grave stands out in the cemetery at the 200-year-old Mammoth Cave Baptist Church. It's covered in coins and stones. Canned goods sometimes surround the base. Tokens left as signs of respect for Floyd Collins, whose epitaph calls him the greatest cave explorer ever known. Before this Western Kentucky man died 100 years ago, he was a household name throughout the land.
It was one of the first viral news stories in the United States.
It's a story that's retold at the American Cave Museum in Horse Cave, where curators are working to find ways to display much of the Floyd Collins memorabilia they have in storage.
There's too much stuff and no money to take care of it.
Things such as a model of the cave explorer, roadside markers, and old recordings of a folk song about the famous Kentuckian.
Oh, come on, you young people, and listen while I tell the fate of Floyd Collins, a lad we all knew well.
Here's the story. In the 1920s, Floyd Collins was a cave explorer for hire, as poor farmers in western Kentucky looked for a way to grab tourist dollars.
If you had a cave on your property and you could just put up a sign, cave tours, and people would come and actually give you money to go look in the cave, that was pretty easy money, kind of like having a gold mine on your property.
In fact, the beautiful Crystal Cave was on property owned by the Collins family, but it was in a remote location, well past Mammoth Cave. Collins wanted to find another cave closer to the main road and went into Sand Cave on January 30th, 1925, looking for something big. He never came back out. The story of his entrapment was turned into a documentary by Kentucky author and filmmaker Michael Crisp.
I think we all have to admire his adventurous spirit and what he was trying to accomplish, and we also have to sympathize with his plight.
A large rock fell on Collins' leg, trapping him in a narrow tunnel. For 17 days, rescuers tried to get him out. And soon their efforts were national news as people gathered around radios for daily updates and grabbed up newspapers full of sensational details. A cub reporter for the Louisville Courier-Journal was able to go into the cave and interview Collins face-to-face and take him food. Skeets Miller won a Pulitzer Prize for his coverage. At one point he wrote, "Death holds no terror for Floyd Collins. His patience during long hours of agony, his constant hope when life seemed nearing the end, is enough to strengthen the heart of anyone."
Well, it sure is mighty nice that people are pulling for me.
A week into the search, more of the cave collapsed, and rescuers changed their approach, attempting to dig a shaft to reach Collins. It's estimated at least 10,000 people flocked to the site on February 8th, a day now known as Carnival Sunday. When crews finally reached Collins on February 16th, he was found dead. His body was not removed until April, and for years, tourists could see him displayed in a glass-covered coffin inside Great Crystal Cave. Collins didn't receive a proper burial until 1989.
Floyd Collins is remembered more for how he died than how he lived.
Today, his legacy lives on. Floyd Collins the Musical is about to open on Broadway, starring Jeremy Jordan.
There ain't never been another man in here.
Somebody asked me, they said, well, do you think after Floyd had been rescued, would he go back in the caves again? And my answer to that is absolutely, because that's what this man lived for.
A year after Collins' death, Congress passed a bill to create Mammoth Cave National Park. There are hundreds of miles of cave passages that have been discovered in the area, with more being found each year. It's still possible to go where no person has gone before, a notion that came to the surface because of a tragedy under the surface.
We'll never know, we'll never let Floyd Collins die.
In Cave City, Marvin Bartlett with the Spirit of the Bluegrass.